Oh dear, that was embarrassing. I'll start again. Welcome to coffee time. I forgot to turn the mic on. Oh man. Let's try that again. Should we just try that again? Let's just pretend it never happened. Hello, 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 and welcome to Coffee Time, where I didn't forget to turn the microphone on. You'd think I'd know how to do this by now. Anyway, this is an inheritance row. This is the story of Ray Watts. Here he is. He was a stamp collector, and he died aged 90. But he didn't want to leave his family his £250,000 estate. Oh no. What he did is he sold his entire £200,000 stamp collection to his cleaner for £1. Oh yeah. And then he left most of his £250,000 estate to it in his will. Yeah. He did that before. He did the stamp collection he gave away before he died, obviously. And shortly after his death, it was revealed he'd passed on his estate to his cleaner after he changed his will 2 years before he died. So he'd have been 88. 3 children from his first marriage were given £15,000 each from the estate. Mr. Watts disinherited the 3 stepchildren from his second marriage, leaving them with nothing and sparking an acrimonious court row. His stepdaughter Beverly near fighting to overturn the claim, saying he couldn't have intended to disinherit her after previously planning to split his estate between the 6 children and stepchildren. The court was heard. Mrs. Neat, daughter of Mr. Watts' second wife, has taken the case to the Central London County Court, claiming Mrs. Pope cannot prove that it reflected her stepfather's true intentions, and this is this is the stepdaughter. That's his stepdaughter, and this is Sue Pope, the cleaner, who seemed to get the lot. He must have really liked her. They must have been very good friends. Friends. But yeah, so it's all gone to the court. It's all gone to the court now. But Mrs. Pope, who benefited from the will, says she was far more than the cleaner and carer to her friend Mr. Watts, and she's fighting back, claiming he wanted to cut out his disrespectful stepdaughter after she changed the locks at his home when he was in hospital. Judge Nigel Gerard, who's presiding, was told that Mr. Watts had 3 children, Nicholas, Leslie and Deborah. Postman. Well, that was fun. Book. Neil Innes biography by his missus. So that should be a good read. His 3 children by his first wife, Madeline. She died in 1995. He went on to remarry Faye Watts in 1998. And she's got 3 children. Beverly, Mark and Sean. Then she died in 2011. Mr. Watts had been clerk at Lloyd's Bank during his working life, but in retirement devoted his life to philately. That's stamp dealing, and I'm sure Why did I do? It ruins me flow. I'm sure Mrs. Pope was interested in philately with Mr. Watts too. Yeah, but Mrs. Pope came into his life after he placed an advert for a cleaner, and she took on more and more duties. I bet she did, until she found herself caring for him. And in a will written in 2007, Mr. Watts intended to leave his estate to the children, but a new will was made in 2019 after he'd been admitted to hospital after he'd had a fall and lain undiscovered for hours. And that one left 15,000 to each of his 3 children. And Mrs. Neat, so she'd have got 15 grand too. The other 2 didn't get anything, and the rest of the estate was going to Mrs. Pope. However, he then executed a codicil, a document altering the effect of his will in 2020, slashing Mrs. Neat's share to a deliberately derisory legacy of £1. Oh! At hell's heart I stab at thee. And challenging the validity of the will and codicil, Mrs. Neat's lawyers claim that Mrs. Pope cannot show the alien pensioner had knowledge and approval of its contents. Well, I think, again, he's maybe he just, and they're blaming his failing mind. They always do that, but I don't know. So when's this going to be decided? Does it say? The case continues. So yeah, we're going to have to wait for that. But yeah, defending, Mr. Gomer called Mrs. Neat's case an exceptionally thin one, which was based on her own assessment on her late stepfather's wishes and what he would have wanted. Again in quotes. He added, it is submitted that the objective evidence simply does not support that position, and that the deceased knew and approved the terms of the 2019 will and the 2020 codicil. So there we go. She should have took care of him. And again, this is it. I always played a long game. Yeah, keep your relatives on the good side. Excuse me. Got a tickle. Oh no. That's the problem. We're not dusting this place. The dust. It's just so much dust. So much dust. Meanwhile, good news, everybody. The Gulf Stream is on the verge of collapsing. Yeah, top climate scientists issue alarming warning. And this means it's going to. I think, doesn't it mean there's going to be a new ice age if the Gulf Stream collapses? Oh yeah, in the film The Day After Tomorrow, the world is plunged into a new ice age after climate change. That's probably where I got it from. That was it. After the collapse of the Gulf Stream, it'll be fine. But yeah, in an open letter, 44 of the world's leading climate scientists have warned that key Atlantic Ocean currents, including the Gulf Stream, are on the brink of failure. Do you know what I blame? Brexit. I blame Brexit for it, you see. And the scientists caution that collapse of the Atlantic Meridional overturning circulation, AMOC for short, could lead to devastating and irreversible impacts which would affect the entire world for centuries to come. It's just the planet resetting itself. We have no control over this. The planet will do what the planet wants to do. It is an enclosed system, and we are part of the enclosed system, and we just got to ride it out. We've got to come up with and this is what Big Ben will look like, apparently, if the Gulf Stream collapses. Oh boy. It'll be fine, won't it? It'll be fine. And here's a picture of the AMOC. Again, it's a circulatory system in the ocean. It's no. So what are they going to do? Get a big underwater fan to make it jumpstart it? I mean, that's a science fiction. That's a science fiction film in itself, isn't it? So I'm not sure what they're going to do. But yeah, they reckon that looking at projected data from the last 150 years, that the scenario, the collapse, is 95% certain by the end of the century. Oh God, I'll be dead by then. And they're blaming it on greenhouse gases, of course. What do they know? What do they know? It'll be fine. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has declared war on the Labour Party. Steady on. I know they're bad. They're not that bad though, are they? Surely he should be helping his mate Trump win. We've got a picture of him here. Look, here he is. I love Trump. I love Trump. That's what he's saying. And look at him. Look at little Trumpy's face. He's loving it. He's loving it. Oh boy. What's that? Next month, isn't it? Yeah, crikey. Next month is the election. But yeah, apparently he doesn't like the Labour Party. And this is because they reckon that Labour, he's accusing Labour of making illegal foreign campaign contributions, which has been accepted by Kamala Harris's campaign team. I read that they've sent 100 Labour activists over there to help, and he says it's invading or manipulating the election. Foreign influence. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, maybe he should declare declare war. Sorry. It'll come back in a minute. What do you think? Yeah, leave your comments in the comments box below. Man, oh man. Meanwhile, an American man contracted E. coli. Right? And it was so serious that it left him urinating blood for days. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Molson Hart took to X to share his experience of what he initially thought was a cold, which later turned out to be E. coli infection in his genitals. Okay. Describing his experience in graphic detail, he claimed doctors told him the infection, which comes from feces, was resistant to standard antibiotics. Here he is. So he's got E. coli of the penis. I wonder how he got that. I wonder. Anyone got a guess? He's obviously he's put his little chap in places where, you know, there's a lot of that. Oh man, am I demonetised? Has my videos been restricted again? Yeah, and he had a really bad time of it. He reckons it's because he used a bidet and it shoots water at your bottom, and it went in his winky. That's a good shot, isn't it? And that's the best explanation you can come up with. And his post on X garnered more than 32 million views and 17,000 comments. Though one critic said, I think this is an elaborate excuse to hide the fact you had a one-night stand. And E. coli infections cause UTIs and are commonly contracted after sex. And someone put dude did, and it's A asterisk asterisk asterisk, and he's covering up his cheating on his wife. So yeah, so this is what I thought. I think he put his in a bottom. Yeah, could be another man's bottom, could be a lady's bottom. But there you go, and that's it. Apparently, he runs an educational toy company. What kind of toys? What kind of education? So there you go. Yeah, he'd have to have an incredibly long man member, and for it to get that via the bidet. So yeah, he's been a bad boy. He's been a bad boy. It's a shame it wasn't in case reports. There'd have been a picture for me to gulp at. But yeah, be careful. Be careful out there. and always put a jacket on it. Right, what else have we got? There's Strictly Come Dancing. We don't do those ones. Done the inheritance story. There's the guy who was shot. Again, a lot of the Chris Cabba, the guy who was shot by police, and the police officer was found not guilty of murder. And again, a lot of people on the left said he was just this guy, just going about his daily life. But it turns out he was involved in lots of naughty things. Oh, here we go. We've got two stories. I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to do this one first. Who wants to hear about pink cocaine? Apparently, Liam was it Liam Payne? Liam Payne? There's a lot of Paynes about, isn't there? Liam Payne did pink cocaine, went off the balcony and smashed his brain. I think that's a poem. But yeah, apparently pink cocaine is the designer drug of the moment. Yeah, and it was originally cooked up by the sons of El Chapo. And apparently it's flooding the US and UK. It was invented in the 1970s, didn't you know? And had a presence on the party scene. But yeah, it's got its name because it's pink. It's also known as 2C, 2C, TUSI, or Cocaina rosada. So that sounds exotic. Cocaina rosada, Cocaina rosada. Wasn't that? That's in a Disney movie, wasn't it? That song. But yeah, there's been that is pink. That's very pink. That's more pink than I imagined. Very, very pink. And I reckon that's what Liam Payne took. And yeah, despite being called pink cocaine, it doesn't actually contain the cocaine. Sometimes they do cut some into it. While recipes vary, analysis suggests most of the mix is the tranquilizer ketamine and the stimulant and psychedelic MDMA and amphetamines like meth. So it's a right concoction. And then that is mixed with legal stimulants like caffeine, as well as strawberry food dye to give it its characteristic appealing hue and smell. So it smells quite sweet. And yeah, they also have added LSD to it. Bath salts. Oh, who remembers bath salts? Remember that guy who ate that guy's face because he was off his head on bath salts? Cocaine, opioids, fentanyl have also been recorded to be added to the pink cocaine. And here is someone cooking up a batch. I think I've done a wrong one. I'm gonna get shut down with this. They're gonna shut me down. Am I allowed to talk about this? It's interesting. I think, you know. Yeah, but it was the Sinaloa cartel who apparently came up with the concoction. So there we go. So and here's El Chapo being arrested. It was his sons, what they reckon, what formulated the concoction. So there you go. So that's what pink cocaine is. I did not know that. And yeah, so we'll move on. We'll move on. But at least we've all been educated now. News to me. Meanwhile, let's jump aboard the woo train. Yes, we have some sports news. And Catalonian football is in uproar. Okay. And this is about the women's team. This was some players who play for CE Europa B in the Catalan Women's League. And they won 3-1 against Terrassa. And shall we have a look at these fine women? Have we got a picture of one of them? Yeah. That's definitely a woman, isn't it? Because you can tell. and that fella is definitely a woman too. Okay, is this right? Yeah, and what's happened here? And it's the other way around. What you're thinking is it's that they're men. They're not. They were women. They were born women, but they've taken all the hormones to grow the beards and that. But you know, the female players they're playing against say they've got an advantage because they're a bit bulked up. They're a bit bulked up. The Alice Thomas of the Vox party in the region, I guess they say that they're right wing. Okay, claim that they were two guys with beards who consider themselves women. But yeah, those are Alex Alcaide Alhanos and Neil Alcon Labella. They've been taking hormones, right? So women to men. So they've kind of stayed in their lane. They're allowed to do that, I think, because they're biologically women. Your mind just goes all over the place. But yeah, the team, see Europa, have hit back, saying that they're the victims of transphobic violence. Yes. Alex said, as long as my ID shows that I have F for female, I'm playing in the category that corresponds to me. And said, I started to transition of my body early. It hasn't changed that much. I've always had this male body, and hormones help me build muscle sooner, not to build more muscle. The moment I feel superior with advantages, I'll quit and step aside. But some feel that moment's already arrived. One fan of the team that got beaten, the Teresa fan, said there are two players in Europa Femenino B who are unstoppable due to their speed and power. It will be difficult to find players with more power and speed in the entire women's preferential category. And controversy was first sparked in 2022 when Europa won 23-0 with Alex playing, though the forward only scored twice. Okay. And so it's an interesting case you got there. But again, they're taking male hormones. It's a weird one. It's an odd one. So yeah, I think we should just have mixed sports, mixed toilets, mixed everything, and it'll sort itself out. Everyone will get bored with it, and everything will carry on, won't it? What else have we got? Oh, can't do that one. Have we got a good one? We're going to South Kesteven District Council in Lincolnshire. The District Council have warned that taxi drivers in the area must take an English test, even if they're native speakers, or face losing their driving licences. Yeah. Originally, they will only apply to new taxi drivers, but now existing drivers have been told they will need to take a test. It costs £46.50. Ka-ching. So they prove that they can have the appropriate qualifications. Taxi drivers have laid the plans as outrageous, with one driver saying it would be impossible for him to track down his school qualifications that he took 50 years ago. Barry Drake, who's been a taxi driver in Lincolnshire for 17 years, said he would find it humiliating to have to pay to take an English language skills test. He said, I'm English, the council knows I'm English, I'm 70 years old. And he set up a Facebook page to rally drivers against the charge. He accused the council, which covers the areas of Grantham, Stanford, Bourne and Market Deeping, of being out of touch with real life issues. Steve Newman spoke about it. He said he would not be renewing his licence with the council in the next year. Instead, would switch to neighbouring Rutland Council. Just go on Uber. You don't need any of this with Uber, do you? And Peter Stanton said the new rule was absolutely ridiculous. Admitted he'd lost proof of his English CSE results, although I got top grade. So there you go. And this is South Kesteven District Council. yeah, do the test, but it should be a really simple test, and don't charge them. It's as simple as that. You know, if they really need to do this. But yeah, there's a statement from the licensing committee. The policy is informed by updated guidance. It states from 2021, the test was introduced for new drivers, but in the interest of equality and safety, the council agreed it should apply to all drivers if the driver does not have evidence of a qualification studied in English. So if you've got your qualification, put it in. But if you haven't, you've got to go do a test. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think, yeah, if you're going to test drivers, I think it should be free. Because I imagine they probably pay for the licences as well, don't they? They don't get the licences for free. I don't know, it sounds like a nice little earner. Can't do that one. Meanwhile, we've got 2 E. coli stories in one day. But it gives an explanation what that guy might have been doing with his thing, his man thing. Because McDonald's is at the centre of an E. coli outbreak. Yeah, apparently it's the quarter pounders. Yeah, they reckon it's the quarter pounders what done it. 49 people in 10 states have been left sick with E. coli after eating at McDonald's. And it's affected, where is it? Does it say? It's across Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. And remember, these are the symptoms of E. coli: severe diarrhea, vomiting, fever, and stomach cramps. That's exactly what happens when you watch this, isn't it? It's the same symptoms. My goodness, shocking. So yeah, be careful out there. Be careful. But yeah, it's sent McDonald's share prices tumbling. Apparently, Nicole Kidman, right? She's making a new movie. What's it called? Baby Girl. And she had to rest shooting one scene because she was suffering orgasm burnout. And I know the missus suffers from that sometimes. Well, it's been a long time, but there you go. Anyway, we'll move on. Yeah, she was filming scenes, and I guess she kept having to reshoot the same thing over and over again. And I mean, blimey, it's just can I just like act? Couldn't they just act? Meanwhile, France is following Germany and is reinstating border controls. They're saying it's suffering serious threats posed by terrorist and migratory flows. This is, again, EU Schengen agreement, which allowed everyone to run riot across Europe. Freedom of movement. But yeah, French authorities have informed the European Commission last week that its borders with 6 of its neighbours, Belgium, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, Spain and Switzerland, will be reinforced with increased checks of November the 1st for at least 6 months. And again, this is what happens when you have freedom of movement. It allows criminals and crime to move unfettered, unless you've got, again, you're spending loads and loads of money on, I don't know, electronic surveillance and whatnot. There's little way of taking control of things, and this is what you've got to do. I mean, it's great in an idealistic world where there's no crime, and there's no sex trafficking, and there's no. That's another one, isn't it? You can't say sex trafficking. Sorry, there's an invisible list in my brain that YouTube doesn't want me to say, and I keep. It's much easier when you do album reviews. If we didn't have these things, this wouldn't be a thing, and you could have open borders, but you can't, just on the crime alone. So there you go. I think they might have to, all of them have to revisit the idea of freedom of movement. Meanwhile, this is good court news. I better hurry up, I've gone on too long. This is the story of Richard Hall. Richard Hall is a complete and utter see you next Tuesday. And I mean that in the nicest terms. This fellow is a conspiracy theorist, and he denies the Manchester Arena attack, and he did it so much that he harassed Martin Hibbert and his daughter Eve, right? And they have won their harassment case in the High Court, and they've sued Richard Hall for harassment and data protection over his claims in several videos and books that the attack was staged. Of course, the father and daughter suffered life-changing injuries in May 2017 when the terrorist bomb went off at the Manchester Arena, with Mr. Hibbert left with a spinal cord injury and Miss Hibbert facing severe brain damage. But Mr. Hall claimed that it was a staged attack. And he says in his defence that what he was doing was in the public interest, and that millions of people have bought a lie about the attack at the Ariana Grande concert. And yeah, he was filmed Miss Hibbert outside her home, and he set up a camera disguised in a fake plant pot to see whether or not she could walk. And he told the London court in a 3.5-day trial, the primary evidence shows there was no bomb in that room that exploded. Again, it's another Alex Jones type thing. Absolutely bonkers. And here he is, setting up the spy camera. What an absolute moron. And here is Mark Hibbert, obviously faking his injury. I mean, I'm being sarcastic. There's a special place in hell for him, and let's remember the victims. Let's remember the victims of the attack, eh? There you go. Let's remember those people, and I'm glad that he was found guilty. Just trying to find. I wonder if there's any animal stories. Probably not. Oh, floods have hit the Sahara again. We already covered that. I'm not going to cover it, but yeah, there's more floods there. Here we go. We've got another quick court news. This is the story of Beth and Guy. She's an OnlyFans model. Personally, I can't see what the lot guys see in her. I can't see what they see in her at all. And again, I don't know why they sign up. Look at the filtering on that. I mean, there's a lot of filtering on the nose area. But anyway, she's an OnlyFans model. But at Swindon Crown Court, she heard that she blackmailed a married man who was a subscriber, right? The victim paid out £450 after he was pressured by the 29-year-old, right? She was going to go to his wife, and she told him to hand over more, but then he got in touch with the police, right? And of course, he was left in significant distress and concerned he would lose his family as a result. And in court, an anonymity order, my tongue is all over the place, was made to prevent the publication of victim's identity. Too right, and here is the OnlyFans model without all the filters. There you go. Just a fat bird, just a plain old fat bird. She was arrested and later charged with blackmail. She pleaded guilty to the crime in December 2023. But in February, Judge Jason Taylor deferred Guy's sentencing until August. But she could have been looking at 14 years, but she didn't. She didn't. Instead, a 2-year prison sentence, suspended for 2 years, and ordered to complete 225 hours of unpaid work in the community, 12 sessions of mental health treatment, and 15 rehabilitation activity days. And she's got to pay £450 back to the victim at a rate of £50 a month. She'll be able to earn that in no time. But yeah. So just keep away from OnlyFans, because they're not good, are they? So I just read another story there. Where are all the animal stories gone? This isn't good. Nope. Can't cover that one. Okay, I've got two animal stories. They tuck them away. They tuck them away right near the end. But first we've got this is animal scientists in Azabu University in Japan they've discovered that common house cats are capable of linking human words with images without prompting or reward. They looked at 31 adult house cats who were given a word test originally designed for babies. All participants saw 2 short animated cartoons played on a laptop screen, and different made-up words accompanied each clip. Most cats saw each cartoon 8 times. They had a short break before being shown the videos again, some featuring the wrong word, the wrong nonsense word that was in it. And an analysis showed the cats who appeared visibly perplexed, spending about a third time longer looking at the screen when the wrong word was spoken. And the authors of the study believe this shows they've learned to link the original phrases with the images that they'd seen. And previous studies suggest that babies behave similarly, but take longer to make the connection. They need to see the original cartoon between 16 and 20 times. So they've already done the test on babies. So babies are smarter than cats. Cats are smarter than babies. That's it. Fuck that right up. Oh dear. I'm just all over it. It's that book being delivered. It threw me off. So yeah, those wily Japanese have got it all figured out. Author of the study, Saho Tagaji, said cats pay attention to what we say in everyday life and try to understand us more than we realise. And it's been published in the journal Scientific Reports. There you go. So, smart pussy. That's probably the headline. Meanwhile, let's go to the hamlet of Couch's Mill near Lostwithiel in Cornwall. One for Andrew. Andrew, did you watch this? Did you find this? Where a woman was rushed to hospital. What happened? She got caught between 2 stags that had locked antlers in the middle of the road. Yeah, so she wasn't like caught in the middle like that, was she? She wasn't like in the middle of the 2 rutting stags, was she? It sounds like the way it was described. They locked her, but no, they couldn't. Oh, there's no pictures though. It's a shame that. There's just pictures of stags. A police spokesman said police were called to reports of 2 stags with their antlers entangled in Couch's Mill. On Tuesday, the 22nd of October, it was already reported that a woman sustained injuries. She was taken to hospital for treatment. Officers attended due to concerns about public safety. 1 deer broke free and left the area. The other deer was left to recover with no further safety concerns. Remember, autumn is rutting season, so be very, very careful. And the stags lock for dominance, and whoever breaks away is the loser. Sometimes antlers come off, very unusual for them to have a complete set, because they snap off. So be careful out there with those deer. I guess you could say, oh dear. Just rubbish. Just rubbish then. Okay, we'll stop there then. We'll stop there. Yeah. There's no more animal stories. Do you know what? I think they've added more stories to the Daily Mail front page. You know that? I think it's got longer because I saw some good ones at the bottom there. Let's see if there's anybody in. Probably not. 13 people in. My God, it's a party. Payne's in. He says inheritance taken to the cleaners. She cleaned up when he died. Exactly. Ocean run amok. Indeed. Giant teaspoon would solve it. Again, just got give it a stir. Andrew's in. He says, "Hi, I'm in." Good. He's in. And what we can do is we can do dog cam. Oh, Sorry, it's not very good. Dog cam. There you go. There you go. Mind. There's dog cam. There's dog cam. With all the detritus of lock towers surrounding her. Andrew says Labour should sort our country out before getting involved in American politics. I thought it was a bit unusual, but they're obviously scared of Trump, you know. But I don't know. The thing is the more they do this stuff, the more he's going to get in. I think they should just relax and let him hang himself. But you know, the more they rail against him, it seems to give him ammunition. So you know, I don't know. Payne says, is that what those wafers were made of? What? Oh, those! I never liked those. I guess they were a bit Moorish though. Yeah. Yeah, we did dog cam, and Doctor has got a couple last live stream. Quite a good one, I thought. What, last night's one? Oh, was it? I don't remember. I just babbled on for an hour and a half like I normally do. I don't tend to remember what goes on. I just turn on the camera and see where it goes. Though I did manage to sell Sue's 2 CDs. That was good. Both copies of Breakdown left the building this morning, so great. Much thanks to those who were very generous. Which was nice. Just got to wait for Bandcamp to pay me because they don't pay you. You have to wait like 3 to 5 days because they hold on to the money now, and then they take their bit out as well, which is a bit much. Andrew says that's near me. There you go. It's a stag night. Be careful out there, Andrew. We wouldn't want you getting rutted. We want you getting rutted there by the stags. Anyway, that was the news. I'll have to go and do a bacon sandwich because it's Wednesday, and Wednesday is bacon sandwich day for lunch. And hopefully you enjoyed the news. We'll do this all again soon. Killing the channel one video at a time. You know, you got to drink out. Ta-ta.